Hey, ladies and gentlemen, you listen to All Burgundy and Gold, everything powered by the Urban Sports Scene and Fox Sports Radio, 96.9 FM and 1340 AM, Hopewell, Virginia. I'm your host, Glen. Joined with me is my co-host, George. Wole will be with us a little bit later. And we also have host breaking command, Darian Williams, man. What's up, D. Will?
Yo, what's up, man? I'm glad to be back with y'all again, man. It seems like a month of Sunday since I seen y'all.
I know, right? As George says, the reciprocal effect right now, right? It's the reciprocal effect, right? We was on your podcast earlier this week. Now you're joining us, but we're going to talk about Commanders football. But George, go ahead. You're up.
All right. You are listening to All Burgundy Errrything, powered by the Urban Sports Scene and Fox Sports Radio, 96.9 FM, 1340 AM, Hopewell, Virginia. Subscribe to our podcast on Spotify, iHeartRadio, Apple Podcasts, and all your other fine podcast platforms. Just search Ball, Burgundy, and Gold Errrything. Also, tweet us at ABG_Errrything, 3 R's, and hit us up on IG and TikTok at ABG_Errrything, 3 R's. And make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel. If you're in the YouTube chat, we accept super chats, and if you do that and support the show, we will prioritize those over all the other comments in the chat. We are also streaming live on the Urban Sports Scene X account. Glenn.
Yo, here it is. It's time for the pregame. This is what we have on tap. We're going to talk about the latest news of Jayden Daniels and his knee injury. We're also going to talk about the Washington Commanders bringing back defensive end Preston Smith. Look, we know that Jayden suffered a knee injury this past Wednesday. We know Jayden suffered a knee injury against the Green Bay Packers last week. Didn't practice on Wednesday. Jayden D is, as they say, is day to day, right? Day to day. If Jayden does not play on Sunday, can this offense move forward? And D, we'll start with you.
Yeah, man. I think Marcus Mariota is a veteran quarterback, right? He's shown last year in multiple spots that he can play when called upon. And I think, I got a pretty good idea that he's probably going to play. I mean, he talked to the media earlier this week. You seen primarily he's been getting a lot of the snaps. So, I feel like with preparation, he could come in and do it. You saw it in a short notice, at times last year, but with full, essentially 10 days of preparation to be the guy, I'm confident that he can get the job done. He's been in this league for a while. He's the KG veteran, former Heisman Trophy winner, knows this offense. So I'm not concerned with him taking the reins. And I feel like he's, for lack of better words, he's taken a great command of the playbook the times that he has been on the field and finding the key guys to keep the offense rolling.
George, your thoughts, man?
I'm confident in Marcus Mariota. As we talked about on D. Will's show on Monday, he came in and performed fantastically when you really think about it. Considering, he came in after with no preparation against. Yeah, and granted, I know Carolina ain't that great, but he had no preparation. Jayden gets hurt first play of the game. He comes in, leads us to an easy win. And then you think about that. I'm always going to think about that Week 18 game at Dallas, because whether it was planned or not, that offense was going nowhere in that game in the first half with Jayden. Mariota comes in, leads us back, leads us to a touchdown in the last 10 seconds to win. I am supremely confident in Marcus Mariota. I wouldn't want to have him the whole season, obviously, over Jayden. But can he get us through the Raiders this week? And hopefully we have Jayden healthy as the schedule gets significantly tougher the next month. That's my hope. So, yes, I am 100%. If Jayden isn't right, let's go with Mariota this week.
Here it is. How concerned are you about the knee injury, right? Are you really concerned, or is like, all right, he's going to be okay? Because we heard it's MRI says there's no serious damage. It's a sprained knee, right? So are you really concerned about it? Are we too precautious? Are we just super cautious because of what happened to the last quarterback we had in Washington and we wasn't cautious over, right?
I think it's the latter. I think we're super cautious. And look, the circumstances are so totally different. Yes, I was surprised when I heard MRI and a knee sprain, because when you watch Jayden in live time, you could tell it was hurting him, but it wasn't hurting him bad. And I've seen knee sprains that where guys are severely limping down the field and really struggling to stay out there and play. And Jayden Daniels, at least to my eye, wasn't struggling at all to finish the game. So, are we being a little bit overly cautious? Arguably, yes. But let's face it, we all saw what happened in 2012 with a worse injury, and the coach listening to the player instead of being the coach and saying, no, you're not going to do that. And like 2012, we have a backup that's actually produced. So we have an insurance policy that's legit. And I think if this was a tougher situation, if this was late in the season and it was a huge game, he'd be out there, no question. It's not, it's week 3. We can go with Marcus Mariota and we can still win.
Yeah, I agree with you on that, G. Like, I just feel like you got to weigh the risk versus the reward. It's a week 3 game early in your second season. And unless he's, 95%, it's like, I don't want to risk him right now. When we got a whole long season to play. Now, that doesn't mean that something will happen in the following weeks, but it's like right now, if you have an opportunity to give him this extended break, which essentially what it will be, it'll be 17 days before he plays again. You give him a nice 2.5 week break to kind of get his bearings together, to heal up properly and not be rushed back. I just think you always lean on the side of caution. If this was November, December, I definitely think he's playing. But I think they feel confident in the backup situation. They're not dealing with a youngster behind them. They're not dealing with another rookie quarterback or, something like that. And the one thing I think this regime has shown, even all throughout last year, is that they're going to be slow to move sometimes, which is kind of a good thing. Like, that means they're thinking about what's going on and thinking about the ramifications of what could happen. When we've had previous regimes in the past that it feel like they just weren't thinking, whether it's game management situations, whether it's injuries, whether it's at the podium or the press conference, everything with this regime feels calculated, right? So I feel like they ran the scenarios. They Dr. Strange did. They said, let's see how this is going to work out, right? So they ran the scenarios and they said, hey, week 3 in his second year, and with a backup quarterback that we're confident in, let's prepare him to play and let's rock and roll. I don't want to risk Jayden with further injuries. And on top of that, we really don't know how bad the sprain is. You know what they say about a sprain? Sometimes it's better to break it than have a sprain because a sprain can linger. Like, I've had a sprained ankle for like a year almost. Like, and you walk on it, you try to do stuff, and over time you end up compensating for it. But it's like a lingering, nagging injury. And what doctors will say, hey, the best part is the rest. And when it's time to rehab, work it out hard. So perfect time for him to take that rest right now and get it all together, because I want him playing his best football in November, December, January, hopefully February. I'm not worried about how good he plays ball in September.
Here it is. Paul says this. Paul said, what's up, Paul? He said, if he's injured, don't play him. I trust the staff to be adults this time.
Absolutely. Great comment, Paul. Like you said, man, like this regime is different. And that's also too what we mentioned on Breaking Command on Monday, is that Thursday night, this was the first time this coaching staff didn't feel like they had it together. They've been calculated and been good every other time. And Thursday was the kind of scratch your head moment. We're like, oh, they are human. Oh, they might have a bad day. They may make a mistake. But 99% of the time, they're calculated and they know what's going on. So I put the trust in them, man.
Yo, hear this. If Daniels can't play against the Raiders, right? Should we expect any changing in the playbook for Marcus Mariota? Or are we full go with the playbook wide open as if we had Jayden Daniels?
I think it's still wide open. I don't mean to step on you, George, but I think the playbook is still wide open. I feel like Marcus showed last year at times that he can still carry the ball when needed, right? I think even this year, I think they don't want the quarterback to run as much. But to have a legitimate quarterback as the run threat, you still want to have that. So I don't think they scale it back at all. I think they may even lean into it a little bit more. You know, you get all those running backs on the field. You do more orbit motions, maybe more reverses, more jet sweeps, more things to kind of keep them unbalanced, to keep them off their toes. Because what'll happen is the minute you catch them sleeping, that's when you're going to get a 17-yard rush by Mariota. That's when you get him on a naked bootleg to go score a touchdown. Like, that's when you'll get those type of plays. I don't think they're going to scale this playbook back at all. I think they're fully confident in what he can do with the team and with the full complement of plays.
George,
you know, you just sparked a memory in me. You talked about him surprising people with the run, Marcus Mariota. That touchdown drive at the end of the game, there was like a 20-yard run up the middle of the field where Mariota ran because they were all, you know, the pass rush came. He stepped up in the pocket. Everybody's going deep. And nobody expected him to take off.
Mm-hmm.
And they got him out of like second and way long or something like that. And they end up getting a touchdown. Paul said something further up about running Bill more, and he just said it again. Not just Bill, but Chris Rodriguez. If there's any kind of a change at all in this offense, I want this to be these running backs getting the football between them 25 to 30 times. I really want to see if we can lean on these running backs, and maybe the Raiders aren't the very best test of that, but they're still an NFL professional team with an NFL professional defense. Let's see if we can lean on these running backs, or if we're going to need help at that spot. I really want to see Bill, Chris Rodriguez, and even McNichols. I want to see them all carrying the football a lot and using the play action, because Mariota's always been good at that. He's always been good at the play action and hitting big plays off of it. That if we make any sort of a change at all, that's what I want to see.
Coach, I want to say Mariota's probably better versus zone coverage.
Yeah, I want to offer this perspective, right? I feel like with good team building and with good roster building, is that a lot of times you don't know what you have behind your starters until it's at a pivotal moment in your season, right? Why not know what Marcus Mariota can really do down the stretch now, right? You get him in a week 3 situation right now where he can go through the full week as the starter, run the plays, keep the full gamut of plays in the playbook. So you can kind of keep that in your back pocket for all my spades players, not the big joker, not the little joker or the deuce, but maybe like the ace, right?
Mm-hmm.
You know, it can still win the book if it needed to. You know what I mean? Like, you keep that in your back pocket, knowing that you got that. Now you got a better big joker in Jayden, but you got the ace that can still win your book when it's needed later on down in the season. So I think seeing that right now this early, you let him come out there, he plays well, and then you like, okay, I'm confident that, you know, should we get in a situation where, you know, we can rest guys, or should something happen with Jayden where he may not be 100% and we might need to rest him or just play him a half, then you're even more confident that Mariota can take the reins of the team and you not miss a beat.
You know, we preached last year, the Commanders preached last year, brotherhood, right? Brotherhood was their thing last year. Next man up was their thing last year as well. If Jayden Daniels is not 100% or he's not 95, or he doesn't give you the best opportunity to win, why not go Marcus Mariota, right? He's a veteran. He's been on this he hasn't started a game for Washington, hasn't started a game since 2002. You let him be able to start this game at home. That's why you signed him, right? Think about it. Marcus was a free agent, right? He was a free agent in the offseason.
And he definitely could have got a job this offseason. 100% he could have got a job.
Could have got a job. And so you signed him because you saw how well he did, what he could do with the offense, because Cliff Kingsbury stayed. Now, I think if Cliff Kingsbury hadn't stayed, Marcus Mariota wouldn't be with the Washington Commanders. But because Cliff Kingsbury stayed and Marcus Mariota understands his offense and he compliments Jayden, he pushes Jayden. He's that veteran presence that Jayden needs. I think everybody in his organization, as well as Jayden, the receivers, Terry, the guys that have been here for a while, have confidence in Marcus Mariota. I don't think anybody, if Marcus Mariota is named the starter Saturday or even late Sunday, I don't think anybody will say, you know what, nobody's scared, right? It's not like Jackson. It's not like Jackson Dart starting the game, you know, right? So, you don't have that. You have a guy who's a veteran quarterback who's been out there and proved it, who, if not, to be honest, helped seal the playoff berth for this Commanders team last year against the Dallas Cowboys, right?
Yeah.
Who drove down the field where Jayden was stinking up the place for 3 quarters. So, so Marcus is there. Have faith in him. Have faith in Marcus. I think the faithful believe in Marcus. I think those who are fair weather fans don't believe that Marcus Mariota, if he is, I still think, this is me, I still think they're going to play Jayden Daniels on Sunday.
You think so?
He's not practiced the last 2 days, right?
Well, he has to practice tomorrow. Tomorrow will be the day.
Okay.
Tomorrow.
Glen, why you think so? You think they playing with everybody?
I think even though Dan Quinn may say one thing, I think Jayden wants to play. And I think Jayden, he's that type of competitor, right? He's that type of guy. Can they shut him down? Will they shut him down? I don't think he should play, but I think he's going to play.
It's one thing when Jayden wants to stay in a game at the end of the game and play. I think it's hard to tell a kid no there.
Right.
But this is a totally different situation. And you know what, Dan Quinn? If you let Jayden talk you into that, you're doing yourself the same disservice Mike Shanahan did himself. You are the coach. He is the player. You should not be scared to make him mad, because if you've got a good front office and ownership in front of you, they will back you. And he might not like it, but then he'll learn to live with it.
Yeah, I think he does. Santiago said this. He says JD5 won't play on Sunday. He'll be on the play. Hey, Rory J406 says they said he wouldn't practice till Friday at the earliest.
Okay.
That's what I mentioned. So Friday will be the only day. Friday is the key. Paul mentioned as well. Friday is the key, right? Ron Ron from Indian Lake. What's up, Ron? How you feeling, baby?
What's up, Ron?
What's up, Ron? In my opinion, Paul, if it doesn't matter, it doesn't matter if JD isn't 100%. You go with your backup, right? And Santiago says this real quick before we before we move on. The team needs a spark, and Marcus is that spark. So, hey, we'll see. Let's bring Wole in this man. What's up, Wole?
What's going on, fam? Sorry.
Hey.
What's going on?
Nothing much, man. Nothing much, brother. Hey, but we just talking here, man. Here it is. We asked a question here, and the question that's on the table right now is this: should the offense, right, if Marcus Mariota starts, should they adjust anything for Marcus, or should the offense still be wide open?
I think it should be wide open. I think we saw a little bit of what this team could do with Mariota last year when he got the opportunity. You know what I'm saying? Like this offense ran smoothly with Mariota under the helm. We saw that in the last game with the Cowboys. We saw that in the Carolina game. So I feel like, and I was an individual who was negative on Mariota when they signed him. I was like, this dude done. So like
proves how much you know.
I know, right? Facts. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm humble.
The first full screen apology.
Exactly.
Right.
Yeah.
You had to go full screen.
Yeah. So I'm humble with mine. So like to me, Mariota proved me that as a backup, he's well capable of like helping this team win football games. And with the matchup, and no knock on the Raiders, or the Raiders are a quality team, but if you want Jayden in the long run, I think you have to like think about sitting them, to be honest with you. Just because again, it's like a sprained knee. I don't know if folks who had knee injuries or whatnot.
I have
exactly. A sprained knee is basically like it's a slight tear in a ligament. You know, it may not be a complete tear, but any sprains is a ligament tear, is a degree of a ligament tear. So why chance that with another blow? And we know the type of mentality Jayden is. Jayden has a mentality of, he's all about winning the football game. It's like it's funny because it's similar to Griffin a little bit, but he's not a me guy. It's similar though, because Griffin was that type of player. Like he would do whatever it takes on the field, even if it wasn't smart of him to go run and get that first down. And we saw that when he like blew his knee out. So I don't want him to get put. I think it's important for a guy who is competitive as Jayden Daniels, because this is different from last year, right? It was just the ribs. Now we're talking about his wheelhouse. Your legs are part for him. His legs are part of his superpower. You know what I mean? That is part of his superpower. And if you put him at risk and knowing his mentality to take a bad, nasty hit, why put him out there? So I'm like, if he's not 100%, I would wait it out for a couple of weeks, because that's what a knee sprain is, a couple of weeks until it gets right. And I think in the schedule, if you want to have him in the long run, these 2 weeks, I think is, his team is still capable of winning these 2 games without Jayden Daniels. So I would definitely think about sitting him.
Yeah, I'm gonna address something that Paul addressed. And Paul, you thinking like I was thinking. I mean, great minds think alike, and this is where I was going in anyway. Everybody says bring Marcus Mariota in, right? Bring Marcus Mariota in. Marcus Mariota has not thrown a pass since the Cowboys game. This is Marcus. He didn't play preseason. This is Marcus Mariota's preseason. We talk about we can trust Marcus, and so we know practice time. We know he's taking reps with the ones, but this is his preseason, and we know some players on this team, and this team against the Green Bay Packers was still stuck in preseason. Mm-hmm. So we talk about the spark. Is it a spark, or is this like a preseason game for most of the people that's there?
I'll say this. I'll jump in and say this. The only thing different, the thing about it is you're right. He hasn't thrown a football in preseason or whatnot, but the thing that he has going for him, that he's a vet. You know what I mean? He's been in the league long enough. Like, that's what I would say. Like, he is a true vet. You know what I mean? Like, that's the thing. Like, Jayden is a second-year player, which is a little different, right? But this is a vet. This dude has seen it all. He's seen coverages. There's nothing he hasn't seen. Jayden is still new to that. Like, their coverages now, the team are trying to mix up to try to confuse a young man, right? And being rusty, and if he's not, all on point with it, it's going to hinder his play a little bit. But Mariota has seen everything. So if anything for his that's different from any situation. Now, granted, we would want him to play preseason. Yes, obviously. Like, I'm not going to say we wouldn't want him to, but the thing working for him is that he's a vet. Like, he's seen coverages, he's seen everything. Like, there's nothing that he hasn't seen in this NFL. So most of it is about, can he execute the play, right? Like, I've always said this, like, Marcus Mariota probably can see a note more defenses than Jayden Daniels. He just can't execute like Jayden Daniels. And those are the difference. That's the difference between the two. Like, there's level of skill in everything, right? So Jayden can execute a play, like, and that's when he sees it, he can execute it. He has the ability. Mariota may know and see things better than Jayden, but executing is a whole different beast. Like, being as accurate as Jayden, being that dynamic playmaker as Jayden, he's not. But in terms of seeing what defenses have to offer and kind of executing the play, because we've seen it last year. Like, that's one thing I'm gonna give him credit for his anticipation on a lot of those routes. You can tell, like, that's a vet move. You know what I'm saying? So
I want to offer this perspective to you guys. Do you think this could be a situation where this coaching staff may feel like the team just need a win, right? Mm-hmm. Like, I feel like this could be the thing where you don't risk Jayden if he's not 100%, and you want to kind of keep the thing on track by getting Marcus Mariota in to say, hey, he's not Jayden, but he's serviceable right now. Let's just go out there, play football, so we can rebound off how we played last Thursday and kind of just get a win under our belt. The Raiders are a beatable football club.
Yes.
Not taking anything away from them, but they're a beatable football club. And you don't want to put Jayden out there and risk it. You want to, maybe you go out there. They could be conservative. They could go out there and just say, hey, Marcus, let's lean on this run game. Let's just turn around, hand the football off. Let's run slants and digs to Terry all day. Like, let's just do some things to get us a win. This could be one of those situations, man. I think they might just want to say, hey, let's not risk anything right now. And let's go back to my earlier point that I don't want to risk Jayden too early. I don't want to risk this thing getting off out of hand too early, that he's not fully healed and he wants to go and he takes another big hit. Or in this situation, he don't even have to take a big hit. It could be non-contact. He could be moving around and land on it wrong. Like, y'all have done this. Anybody that's approaching 40 or older, you step off the curb wrong, you could be out. You have to use 3 days of PTO. Seriously, man. Anything could happen. So I feel like this might be one of those games where they just like, hey, look, let's just play, not conservative, but let's just lock it down. Let's just let Jayden rest and let him heal, and Marcus take the game.
Let me run through this real quick. Coach says this.
Oh, man, Roy. Hey, appreciate you, Roy. You the man, Brody.
Yo,
man.
Roy,
man, you
Thank
the
you,
man,
Roy.
bro.
Now go to my YouTube and do that.
Hey, you're the man, Roy. Appreciate you. But look, while Roy's doing that, appreciate you. Taj had a good comment, man. He says this, man. It's football. Unfortunately, players get hurt. If he's injured, don't play him. But if he can play as a coach, you have to consider that. I love how the fan base is sleeping on the Raiders. I'm I'm not sleeping on the Raiders, man.
We're not sleeping on them.
Not sleeping on them, especially with Pete
they
Carroll.
were pretty bad the other night. They were not good the other night.
But no, I'm not sleeping on them, bro. They're a good ball club. Like if the league has shown you anything, is that 32 teams can get cracked on any night, bro. It don't even matter. But I don't think we're looking past the Raiders or thinking that we can, just dominate them. I just think that we're a little bit more dynamic and we can play a little bit better football. And this is a winnable game. And this was even when the schedule came out. I thought this was a winnable game.
Right. Yo,
y'all doing Terry slander again? I'm gonna get you, Paul. I'm telling you, and Todd.
What do you say?
I want to. Paul was talking about this team still being in preseason mode. Santiago Bond, I think, made a great point way up in the chat, and I'm looking at it now. I'm just going to read it out.
Go ahead.
He says, it looks like DQ wants a conservative offense and lean on the defense this year. Santiago, I think that's what he wanted against the Packers, and I think that explains that game plan. My hope, Santiago, is that the fact that went so badly wrong, they're going to kind of go back to what they did last year, which was to be aggressive, to gamble, not every time, but a lot of the time when it was prudent. Because I got to tell you, I think that's exactly what you saw Thursday night, was that kind of a game plan, and the results it yielded was terrible.
Gee, think about the Giants game. Think about how the Giants game went. They leaned on defense and gave up 6 points, and then the Giants came up the next week, and Russell Wilson threw for 400 yards passing, and it was a combined 70 point total, like, for that squad. So I could agree with that. And if you look at after week 1, you would say, hey, this is a tough defense. Maybe we can lean on this squad, for the performance that it did. So who knows? But I think that could be a great point. Great point by Santiago.
But I mean, the thing is, my hope is seeing that you can't. This defense isn't there yet. It's not, and they may play well against the Raiders. I understand that where Taj is coming from. Like, we shouldn't sleep on anybody. I watched most of that damn game the other night. Gino was terrible. And I know he's better than that, but and the Chargers got a really good defense to be fair.
I'm about to say, like, he got
some of the throws Gino missed and some of the interceptions.
He threw bad passes.
And he's got Gentine, and they're not giving him the ball, which is puzzling me. If the Raiders look anything like they did Monday night and Washington doesn't beat them badly, we got a problem.
You know what the difference is, though? I'm gonna be real with you. This is the difference within that. I don't know if it's like, again, when they're well coached. Pete Carroll's a hell of a coach. So I don't ever they're a well coached team. So for me to say, like, we're going to dominate the Raiders is like, I can't really say that after what I saw on Thursday night. Like, I'm not going to even go that level because this team isn't good. Like, this team isn't, from what I saw Thursday night, and I don't know if it's fair, they don't earn it. They didn't earn it. Like, for me to say anybody can dominate this, they should beat this team. Like, that's no, they should go in this team with a chip on their shoulder and saying, like, we had a bad showing. Let's show the world who we are. But I'm not going to give you anything. My fandom will not give you that kind of credit. Because at the end of the day, we see what how a home wrecker, I'm gonna call him a home wrecker. A home wrecker and Micah Parsons, what he can do. Max Crosby is a home wrecker. That's one of the top 5 edge rushers in the game, period. And they're gonna see film and say, okay, rookie, we're going to do the same thing. You're going to have to work on this. You're going to have to get this work too. Now it's up to you. And so if Max Crosby is wrecking the game, which he's capable of doing, that changes everything. That changes everything. So we're not going to be able to score like we want to score to even make this a blowout. You know what I'm saying? So the game will be tight. You know what I'm saying? So it's really like, it goes to this point. Like, they got to play better than they did Thursday night. They got to show us something for us to all say, oh, the Raiders, the Raiders, we should mollywop the Raiders. They got to show us that. They didn't show us that Thursday night. So it's hard for me to say that. It's just hard for me to say that.
Yo, it's go back to what Todd says here, man. And I like this, Todd, because you hit the point here. Was they conservative? No, they only ran the ball like 14 times against a great pass rush. I just think DQ and his staff was outcoached. I want to agree with Todd here because they got outcoached on this past Thursday night. I mentioned in our post game, they abandoned the run too early. You was never really out of the game yet, right? You abandoned the run early because you wanted to throw the ball around. Cliff Kingsbury wasn't patient. You chop away because you're only down at 7 by 1 point at that point, right? Chop away, get it locked up. And the other point that Paul made, which is great too, hey, we have to gamble because we have no field goal kicker, right? That's the point.
Yes.
Because I think we said it on D. Will's channel on the other night. If they had kicked the field goal, if they had made both of those field goals, that's a different football game. If both field goals were made, that's a 16-17 game at that point. So it's a different game. It's a different ball game, and Washington might be able to pull it out. But again, those things. I
want to disagree with Taj in one part. You cannot look at the end of that first half and tell me that wasn't conservative. The end of that first half, they've got a chance to score and make a game of this, and they're just worried about running the clock out. They're not using their timeouts. Yeah. And let's be honest, they threw a bunch of times. It was a lot of piddly short passes. Now, some of that's Parsons. They have time to throw the ball and cut it loose down the field. I understand that. You can throw a lot of times and have a conservative game plan. Seen it way too many times in college. People throw 40 times, and they're all within 5 yards of the line of scrimmage. They were, in my opinion, that's exactly what they were the other night. And that, among many other problems, was part of the problem.
I do want to, Santiago said, it seemed like the Packers knew everything we were running. That's definitely did. Coach, what's going on, Coach? Coach said, will Wiley start or rotate with Connerly? I'm not going to lie to you. I like Connerly way more than I like Wiley. I don't have an issue with Connerly. I think they shouldn't set him up. If you put Wiley on Micah Parsons one-on-one, it would be worse to me. That's just my opinion. I don't really like. I think people are being a little too hard on the rookie. And I'm an individual who was like, I thought they should have got a player over Connerly, but I like Connerly. It's not like I like him. I don't think that. Again, you're putting him one-on-one with Micah Parsons. It's failure. Like that's not a thing. That shouldn't be a thing.
It was only the second
game.
Start. Second game. Like it's the second game.
Yeah, it's one-on-one against Micah Parsons.
I don't want the fans to get snobbish now.
Yeah,
right?
Go ahead. Go ahead.
We really let's check ourselves, right? Like we have been a middle of the road to bottom half of the league franchise for 20 plus years. Right, minus a year or two here and there with some excitement, but we've literally been a perennial loser, right? So you get last year where we went 12 games, and now fans are just got these super high expectations, right? And I have high expectations as well, but I also am a realist. We didn't know how good the New England Patriots were until their second Super Bowl, right?
Yeah, true.
You go win the first one against the Rams, the greatest show on turf, and you're like, wow, this is a great ball club. And then it's reset back to 0-0. So when they can consistently go deep into the playoffs and make multiple Super Bowls, you're like, okay, yeah, this team is good. We expect this. Or you look at the other teams that are always in the playoff hunt. You look at now like the Chiefs, you look at how the Eagles are performing, they're always in it, and even teams like the Rams, right? Who they're not going to win a Super Bowl, or they haven't won a Super Bowl in a couple years, but they're always in the mix late in the season. The Packers, who are always in the playoffs, the Ravens, the Bills, those teams are consistently good teams, right? But you don't know that until the second or third year that they're in there, right? We have a great year last year, and now everybody's assuming that it's just gonna happen again, and we still have to play these games. We still have to develop talent. We're not, I would love to go, 7-7 in the draft. You know what I mean? Just get all five, all blue chip guys, and maybe steal some guys. But you're gonna have some flops. You're gonna have some guys that don't turn out well. So it's just we got to give them time to kind of do it. And just like all the pundits say, that you really won't know how good the draft class was to 3-4 years down the road when they're still there and looking for a second deal.
Yeah, you're gonna have folks like like Luke McCaffrey, that are like flops. You're going to. It's life.
It's the second season.
It's life. You're gonna have flops. It is what it is. Ron said our O line was beaten thoroughly by Green Bay. Our D line held up well against the run. I'm not concerned about our front seven on defense. I'm worried about the secondary getting on the same page. I'm worried about I'm worried about calls on defense. Put it that way. That's what I'm worried about. Paul said, Joyce, back to your point, in August with the new pieces, we should have had to play more in the preseason. Totally agree.
Yeah, I'm singing from the same hymn sheet as you, Paul.
But you gotta realize that's their MO, and so you're not gonna change their MO. You're gonna be what they are. So we see this team get better in week 3, week 4. Back to your point about the defense. I don't think the defensive running game. I don't think the defense did bad the other night for stopping the run. They're great at stopping the run. It was a secondary last night. I mean, not last.
It was
night,
the tight end.
The tight end.
Right.
And now we're facing the best one in the NFL.
Now you're facing the best one in the NFL. Right. So you're facing the best tight end. So they need to fix that part, Joe Witt. You're not on notice yet. But you got a tight end. You got a tight end coming, right?
I wish Ben Sinnott would turn into one of the best tight ends in the league.
That's not gonna happen, buddy.
Not gonna happen, buddy.
I just wish.
I will settle for Ben Sinnott helping Josh Connolly block some people this Sunday. Block Max Crosby.
I hope he can do that. I mean, I like Ben Sinnott in college, so I'm not a Ben Sinnott hater, but I just
definitely feels slanderous though, Wally.
No. I mean, I'm gonna keep it a billion, because it's only what he's shown me. That's the problem. It's like I rooted for Ben Sinnott. I wanted him to be the back. I want him to be the backup tight end to Ertz. But then Bates is a great blocker. Like everyone, I want Ben Sinnott to take over the realm. To be real with you, but it just hasn't happened. There's a reason. There's a reason. Like I gotta keep it a bean. It's a reason. So
he's gonna need to get it on. He's gonna need to turn it on this year because this might be Zach Ertz, final rodeo with us, and I think that this league is turning into a 2 tight end league, bro.
Yeah,
you need to be able to consistently go 12 personnel and still be able to be dynamic. You need to be able to go 1 back and 2 tight ends and still not lose anything, whether it's a blocking tight end or 2 pass catching tight ends. Imagine you have 2 good tight ends that they can stay in the same personnel group and nothing changes, where they can both block well.
Don't forget about Michael Mayer. That's the other tight end the Raiders got. He ain't bad either, Michael Mayer.
Two good tight ends. They got 2 good tight ends.
But
Rory said, I want to read some of this. Can I read some comments? First off, Ron at Indian, they said, losing Bates hurts. I know I would never see this. Now I'm becoming a Bates fan. That's wild. I was hating on Bates. I've become a big Bates fan now. It's crazy. Rory says, when we don't play meaningful games in the first few weeks, the preseason can miss me.
Every game is meaningful, man.
Especially if you don't have much margin for error, and we don't in this division.
True. Paul says Ben can't get his assignments right. So go ahead, Glenn. I'm full. I just wanted to read.
No. You're fine there because we saw teams with 2 tight ends. And when I think about 2 teams that had 2 tight ends, you mentioned it earlier. New England Patriots. When the New England Patriots had Hernandez and they had Gronkowski with their 2 tight end set, when they used to run that set,
so good.
That was so good. So when you talk about 2 tight end sets, you have to go back to that group there. Some people don't remember that. I mean, Aaron Hernandez did play in the league. We can't Chris Benoit him, right? You can't do that. But he did play in the league, and Gronk did too. So these guys were good, and Belichick knew how to use that. They knew how to use that offense. So when you have 2 tight ends, you can do different things. So if Washington can develop another tight end, I mean Yankoff, we saw.
I think Yankoff been outplaying Ben Sinnott to be
right. We saw Yankoff the other day, in the last preseason game, who did well. He's blocking okay. We know he can catch the ball and take off a little bit. So if they get him in that routine of that 12 personnel, along with Bill, we probably can do something, right?
Yeah, Paul.
Yes, Paul.
Yes, Paul. Because tight end, that's what you need to worry about. Because there's no adjustment. For some strange reason, there was on Thursday night there was no adjustments on that on that tight end seam route, and that's my issue. That's what I'm talking about. Well, you know what? I'm not gonna keep trashing folks. You folks got to adjust. That's all I'm saying. As coaches, they got to adjust.
You look at the tight ends. I'll be looking at the kickers in college, so we can find us a damn kicker finally.
Oh, you talking looking at tight end films and you're talking about next. Oh, you're talking about tight end.
I think you're talking about college.
College
tight end in the next draft.
Honestly, right. We need. I won't be surprised if we go that route in the offseason.
Yeah,
I agree.
You should definitely be looking at tight ends in college. I'm gonna be looking at the kickers. So yes,
kickers.
We got it, Paul.
Man,
we got this mess covered.
Kickers are going to be cut by then. We'll probably get a vet kicker that's been cut. Todd says Thursday reminded everyone of 2 things: that this team is only 2 years into a total rebuild. Agreed. And second, what this team did last year was magical. Jayden play covered a lot of holes. Yes. I think yes. And I think also, and this is just being real, we were the surprising team. So now we're not sneaking up on nobody. Everybody know what time it is now. So there's a little bit of everything. There's a little bit of everything. Like Jayden now is like, all right, every time like you see Jayden Daniels on the schedule, it's different. There's a different energy. You know what I mean? Like that is something. Anybody who competes in sports, like this. Like if somebody all of a sudden is that dude, or you want to get at him. That's what it is. So now it's like, all right, it's a little bit of everything. It's that I agree with you, Todd. Just a little bit of that, but also it's like when you went from being a rookie into being one of the people you just circled. It's like when Tom Brady came to your town, you circled that. Like you was going to try to show Tom Brady. You're going to try to show Peyton Manning. If Michael Vick came to your town, you want to show the Vick experience. Nah, it ain't happening here. Like, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, I think now there's a different type of energy that these teams are now going to play us, because now look, we're a team that went to the NFC Championship game. We're not sleeping on anybody anymore. That's just a fact.
And we're a marquee game now for some teams.
That too.
Well, that's why we got on primetime games, and I play, and I'm a LeBron fan, but I don't sit on the bench when he goes to different cities. He plays. But it's a whole different.
Rory said, Matt Gay is a guarantee for $1 million. He is our kicker for this year.
Right? That won't stop Adam Peters for getting rid of him if it's bad enough.
I mean, all right, look, George, I ain't gonna lie. He's still kicking, right?
Yeah,
he was bad.
Yes.
Word is where he's been bad since the preseason.
I know.
So he's still cooking. So Rory got. I mean,
Rory got a point, but
there's a valid point.
Another couple 1-for-3s.
Oh yeah, definitely.
And even he's gonna have to do something about it, because this is.
I told y'all who to get, and everybody talk about the PR hit. The guy is right up 95.
He ain't gonna be kicking anytime soon, though, bro, because he's still.
I know. I know he's suspended, but then you bring back Sherbert. Sherbert wasn't bad.
Sherbert was good. I like Sherbert.
Is he still hurt?
Where is he?
Cyber. I like Cyber.
Cyber. Bring back Cyber.
Is he still hurt?
No, I don't think
he's
he just don't got no job. Tom Hanks
he got no job. Bring back Cyber. Matter of fact, the truth be told, Zane Gonzalez is still out there.
Yeah, he is still out there.
I see you, George.
Zane is still out there. That is true. Zane is still out there.
I mean, better than what we got, but let's not act like he's that much of an upgrade, I guess.
Also too is that's 2 weeks. I mean, I feel
that's
like
true.
over 4 weeks, unless he just is like 0-for-4 or something like that. I feel like we gotta give it a few weeks. It sometimes take a while to get into a rhythm, and I think kicking overall in the league is just down anyway. It's only really a couple of
except for everybody else has got kickers that are making 55 and 60-yard field goals like they're 40.
That's true too.
Like I said,
look, I'm just
watching
saying,
Brandon Aubrey hit that kick just about sent me over the edge on Sunday.
Let me just say this again. Like, I don't know what people expected from Matt Gay. I'll be honest with you. Because like I'm gonna say it again. Like the coaches that have put him in that position. Like, there's no way, especially in that fourth quarter, in the second half, end of the second quarter, where you allow him to kick that kick. Like, I don't think, like, we know what the story is. That's my thing. Like, everybody is mad about him missing kicks. I don't know. What did you expect him to make it, George?
Hell no.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. Like, I don't know why people upset. Like, I'm like, you acting like he was supposed to make the kick. I only
the highest guarantee for a kicker ever. That's why people
look. That's on coaching. He shouldn't have been put in that position to kick that. Like,
that's true. That is true. 100%. That is true.
Like, the gamble of it was, to be real with you, if you miss this kick, they're in better field goal. They're in a better opportunity to get a field goal to Packers. If you go for it, you're like, and don't get it, like, you're better off. Like, like, you're better off if you didn't get it. So I'm just saying, like, to me, like, go for it. Like, and we look at a team that, and this is what I said this on the post game show. Like, the identity of this team is like a gambling, risk-taking squad. That was the identity of this team last year. Like, we going for it. We ain't scared to smoke. We going for it. And I don't want to keep going back to the old game, but the problem with that game was we did play conservative. We played scared football rather than as a coaching staff. I'm not gonna say because the coaching staff, we play conservative to a point where if we're looking at our identity, why we fell in love with this team last year was like, nah. Like, they was going for it. They ain't care. Like, all right, we fourth and 4. Oh, that's like, we can get that. We can get that.
That's only on one man though. One man makes that decision.
I know the coach.
DQ makes that decision.
I know. That's what I'm saying. The coach.
Yeah,
I know.
yeah.
I totally agree with that. Like, I'm saying like that. I didn't talk about the identity. Like that's what it is.
Yeah.
Like that wasn't him last year, and that's what made. Sometimes to a point, you go with what works for you. Forget the league. All right, forget the league. You go what works for you. Like if I like shooting 25-foot 3-point shots and it works for me, and I feel like I'm accurate at it, I'm gonna shoot 25-foot 3-point shots.
Until
it works for me.
Until it works. Team.
Yeah, no, it works for me. It works for my team. Because if me helps my team, it works for me and my team. If going for it works for your team, go for it. That's what works for your team. If it doesn't work, it may not work for the Dallas Cowboys. It may not work for Philadelphia Eagles. It may not work for the New York Giants. But you know who it works for? It works for DQ and the Washington Commanders. That's all. And that's what showed me last year. If you go against it, then I'm like, all right, this ain't you. Be you. Just be you. That's all I'm saying.
Hey, we got another topic for tonight, man. So we're gonna move on to the other topic.
All right, cool.
We got to move on to the other topic that we got tonight. Washington Commanders brought back Preston Smith this week. Washington drafted Preston Smith in the second round of 2015 draft. He played with the Washington Commanders from 2015 to 2018. Then he went on to the Green Bay Packers. Had a good career at Green Bay. Now with Dietrich Wise being hurt and out, they bring back Preston Smith. Will, we'll start with you since you're the guest, man. Your thoughts on them bringing back Preston Smith to the Washington Commanders in this defense?
Well, Wise going down with the season-ending injury, you had to replace him, and you had to get somebody that can come in. And I think Preston Smith has showed, even after he left us, which one could argue that he should have stayed with us. We should have been able to re-sign him then. But he's one of those stories where guys have left, maybe under whatever circumstance, and he succeeded. Right? He's played well with Green Bay. And I think now you look at what pass rushers have become, guys like Jadeveon Clowney, where he's getting close to Josh Johnson numbers with how many teams he's played for, but they're just them situationally, right? And it's okay. And I think like pass rushers and DNs are starting to turn into like pitchers in baseball, where situational guys, you may come in and play a couple innings or a few plays, if you will, but that's what you come to do. You come to rush the quarterback and make a play. So I feel like at the end of the day, that's what you need, and you need some guys that can attack and get upfield. And you can never have enough good pass rushers, man. If Preston Smith can be even an iota of what he was in Green Bay and just come in and be consistent with us, I love that for him, and I'm happy to see him back, man. I'm happy to see him land on his feet and hopefully maybe able to come and finish his career with us, man. Who knows?
I like that. No, you can go ahead, George. I'm busy tweeting.
My recollection of Preston Smith leaving is we wanted to keep him, but Green Bay offered him a lot more money than we were willing to, based on his production at the time, because they had a vision for him, and he ended up flourishing in Green Bay. And it was sort of, I think we wanted to keep him, but I think he just got too good an offer, and it turned out that they probably got him in a bargain compared to what he produced for them. So I love having him back, because gosh, when you think about how often we've struggled with second round picks, he's one of the only good ones we've had probably in this century, honestly. And it's like, I think Will, I think that's such a perfect comparison. That edge rushers are like the left-handed specialists who stick around baseball for 20 years, just getting one or two people out a night. I think that is what defensive ends have turned into in a lot of respects. And yeah, that's so what we need another one, because here's the other issue for this defense. They haven't generated the pressure on the quarterback needed, so they haven't generated any turnovers yet, which is a major problem.
They have not. They have not. I know somebody was arguing with me about this pass rush. Not on this panel, but somebody in the chat. They know who they were. They were arguing about not getting sacked. Like, we can do this by committee. Let's see. So first off, I want to say this. Like, first off, folks in the who watching this on any platform, but YouTube as well. Make sure you hit the like button on both channels. D Will does it all. Hit that like button on his YouTube channel. Hit that on the All Burgundy and Go Errrything YouTube channel. Hit the like button. It's free to like. It does well for the Commanders algorithm. So just everybody listening right now, viewing, please hit that like button. All right. So Oh, and Roy, I see your comment about Snyder. I can't display it because you got a curse word in it. So, but I will say you start Dan freaking Snyder. That's the reason about he's talking about
Preston Smith.
Preston Smith. All right, so I do like the signing of Preston Smith. I mean, I prefer having like Clowney. I won't even lie. I wanted Clowney more than I wanted Preston Smith, but I'll take Preston Smith. He's 32 years old. Was very successful. In Green Bay. It's similar. What I like about Preston Smith is Preston Smith, just like I talked about Clowney. What I like about him is that he's a guy, an edge rusher who has containment. He plays well against the run as well. That's what I like about his versatility. He can do that. So he's not like a liability like we had last year with a guy who just rushed the passer. This individual can rush. He rushes the passer and also is able to help you out in the run game. So I think that's very important. I'm interested to know his role, what his role is going to be, especially in this game coming up. I wonder if he's going to play. If he does play, I think he's a good replacement for Connolly. You know what I mean? A very good replacement for Connolly. I mean, not Connolly, excuse me.
Dietrich Wise.
Dietrich Wise.
Yeah,
he's a very good replacement for Dietrich Wise. I think that because they're kind of similar in a way. So I do think that he will fit right in. It's kind of dope that like Ryan Kerrigan got to play with him. Ryan Kerrigan played with everybody. I swear on that D. A lot of folks on that D line,
right?
Or folks on that team that's come back or are still playing. So it's good to see him out there. I like Preston Smith when he was in Washington.
Yeah, I did too.
I did. I liked him a lot. When he left, it was like, oh dang. But then I think is that when he left, didn't they draft
Montez Sweat?
Yeah. So like that was like, all right, he left, but we had like a replacement. So, but I did like him. I liked him a lot. Felt like he's a guy that I thought at times like he was better off, hands in the dirt as a traditional defensive end. And I think that fits. That's gonna fit him here. That's what I do like.
We was running 3-4 at that time.
That's why I didn't like it. He was better at. He's a bigger guy, right? He's not like an edge rusher. He's more of a defensive end. So I do like that coming back now. We run the 4-3, so he can be like a regular defensive end. I think it's a better fit for him now as a Washington Commander.
Yeah, better fit him, but he can be a stand-up end on that side. Play the 5 or the 7 technique, 9 if he has to, where he can come in and just wreck stuff up. So you figure you got Preston Smith and then you got Von Miller on the other side. Then you got the guys in the middle. So we should be able to, that D line should be able to get some pressure, as George mentioned, on the quarterback this week, right? George on Geno Smith should be able to get some pressure and let Geno be Geno, right?
We'll see if we get pressure. Let's see. Let's see first. I mean, we're not guaranteed.
No, we're not guaranteed.
Our edge, like I said, look, we knew that edge rusher would be a concern.
Yeah,
coming into the season, we knew that. So we need more pressure from the interior more than anything. We're gonna need guys like Payne to like kind of show like he did in week 1. He's gonna have to play like that consistently. And we're gonna need Kinlaw to continue to play like he's been. Well, Kinlaw has to play like he's been stopping the run, but he's also gonna have to help and put like funneling pressure in the middle as well, because that's where it looks like they're trying to hone in the pressure. If you even watch games, it seems like that's a concerted effort to push the middle rather than like edge rushers going wide or whatever. So they're gonna have like the middle has to really develop pressure, because it just seems like the game plan is to funnel pressure up the middle.
Yeah, I mean, I think we have to be able to by committee, right? D-line by committee.
Right sides by committee, right? Right sides by committee.
No,
right side.
I have no problem with D linemen playing by committee, right? Because you want your best D linemen on the field in the 4th. So you want to be able to save them, and so you rotate with your Johnny Newtons, you rotate with your Kinlaws, you rotate with Batiste, right? So you rotate with those guys. And so when you add a Preston Smith, you elevate not only do you elevate the play, but you elevate the locker room as well, because he fits right in with that Bobby Wagner. He fits right in with that Von Miller. He's that type of veteran, and he comes in. So now you have more leadership and more veteran presence in the locker room, which should translate to the Washington Commanders coming on the field and playing with much more energy, much more vigor than they did last week.
I'll say this to this. Taj, they've been good against the run. I'll give you that. I do think that I want to see the Giants. The Giants, what they did against the Giants, they did it against a weaker Giants O-line because they didn't have their best tackle. I kind of want to see how our defensive line works we saw against the Packers a higher quality offensive line
Mm-hmm.
that they struggled getting pressure.
Mm.
So I kind of want to see, to be fair, like I feel like the Giants, I don't think they're as bad. I don't think they're as good as what we saw against the Giants, but I don't think they're as bad as what we saw against the Packers. I think there's a middle, right?
Mm.
So I kind of want to see, it's all about consistency. So I kind of want to see how this defensive line plays against, higher quality offensive lines, right? Because we're gonna see it. Look, at the end of the day, love them, hate them, whatever. It's all about the Philadelphia Eagles. That is still one of the best offensive lines in football, period, by far. That's no argument there.
Yeah.
So we're gonna have to see them, because the Packers, I'm not going to lie to you, if the Packers were a problem protecting, like in terms of getting pressure, then we're not ready for that type of matchup in terms of getting pressure on Hurts, because the Eagles offensive line is to me far better than the Packers offensive line.
No, I agree, man. I think we just gotta, when you come out there, you gotta be a one-man wrecking crew.
Yeah.
Like everybody gotta get up the field and get to the quarterback. And I think if there was ever a time where the defensive line to kind of do their thing, I think this might be the week, because we've seen Geno in the past 2 weeks, where sometimes he can get unsettled in the pocket.
True.
He'll throw the ball crazy. He won't stand in there and stand tall, or his offensive line simply just is not giving him enough time to do anything. So, hey, they get upfield, get some pressure on them. Maybe you see a better coverage in the secondary. Maybe we get some turnovers. Maybe we can make some plays. But I think this is the time that you got to do it, man. You got to reckless abandon. You had 10 days rest. Go out there and make some plays.
And
Todd just made me smile. Sorry, Todd just made me smile. I'm sorry. You know what I'm saying? Right, thank you, Todd. You know what? Okay, we're cool, Todd. We're here. Hey, Todd, we're here again. We're back again. We were gone, but now we're back again. Like, we were beefing. I'm not gonna lie to you, Todd. We were beefing. But now we're back.
Tosh is off the list.
Look,
Tosh is off the list.
Todd, we're good. Hey, Todd, we're good again. Sorry to cut you off. Go ahead.
Just make the list.
Armbar. Only a few will get that. Y'all got it.
Yeah. Hey, one thing about when you talk about this defense again, and you talk about the guys that's there, and you talk about us being able to stop some things, we still haven't brought up Luvu this week, because this is the week that he needs to show up. This is the week that Luvu, when you talk about stopping runs and showing up, Luvu needs to show up this week. Again, it is what it is. With these, we talk about last year. Taj brought a point. Last year it was I don't want to call it lightning in a bottle. We got hot, but it was players who stepped up, and that name became household names. And those names are not household names coming into week 3, right? Yeah. We haven't said anything, so it has to be a mixture of what takes place. When you talk about this defense being good, Bobby Wagner has to be good. Luvu has to be good, right? Lattimore has to be good, or take his butt and put him on the bench, right? At this case, you should have kept. No, in the mind, I can't say that. But
no, ain't that bad. He ain't that bad.
Yo, dog, he's that. He's that bad when it comes to getting 15-yard penalties. Let's be honest.
Yeah. But again, like Todd said, man, like you have to adjust. You can't put Hicks in motion and not pass him off when that's just like they didn't adjust.
They didn't adjust.
Joe Witt he didn't adjust on the play. Like I know we are gonna get on Lattimore. Like there are plays, like you're right, pass interference plays or 15-yard, like you got pass interference plays. Yeah, like those plays, you gotta kind of come on, man, you gotta control your game. But when we're talking about that motion, like it wasn't working the first 2 times. Then you finally adjusted late. You should have adjusted off the rip. Go, D, you want to say something? D. Will, you want to say something? I can tell. Go ahead.
Luvu had the Ula Fala last year, bro. Like he was the tribal chief.
He was,
bro. And he played like that. He was the one. We acknowledged him, right? Yeah. This year he lost Paul Heyman. Like he's not like he's just not the same guy, right? So it may take him a minute to kind of get back to that, but. And then it's tongue in cheek, but I just think that last year he was like the light in the bottle. It was similar to how Jayden was.
Yes,
it was a surprise.
Yes.
People weren't expecting that. Facts. So it's like now when they got tape on you,
there you go,
and they know how to attack you. I mean, you can be taken out of the game, and then that's when you can get exposed, right? Yeah, so we're not saying that he's been exposed. It still could just be early, but we want to get back to see him playing with his hair on fire and get him to, play like he knows how to play. And I think it's coming. It's just early.
Hey, yo, Todd,
I'm
Lou
worried-
out here
I'm
looking like
worried about
Solo.
Wagner's decaying
Nah, bro.
lives out there.
Hey.
Solo sick of you.
Oh man, hey, Solo hilarious. I don't even know he looking like Solo. Hey,
I love
Yo,
I think with D Wills there, man, it's perfect, bro. Like it's perfect. Like that's perfect. Like that's the thing. Like they got tape on him. Now his job is now is to like for him because that's what great players players
evolve.
do to evolve and adjust. All right, you trying to take away my superpower. Okay, I got another one. Let me show you my other trick in the bag. You know what I mean? There's a reason why Micah Parsons is Micah Parsons, right? It's not like he's not one-dimensional. He's not a one-trick pony. Like, you know what I mean? Like he added stuff to his bag to make to make sure you can't or you don't like he has a counter for what you think you got, right? That's what makes Myles Garrett so good. He has a count, and these are elite. So I'm using them examples. Like he has a counter to what you think that you think you can stop me. I got my counter. That's what makes Max Crosby, who we're going to see, so good. Oh, you think it's just a motor thing? Nah, bro. I got a spin move and everything in the bag. That's more than what you like. I don't just got a motor. I got everything, bro. It's like that's what
3
that's
Rs.
where I'm at. 3 Rs. You know what I'm saying?
3 Rs.
So that's what Louisville has to like now have like for Louisville to continue to be the guy that everybody wants him to be, the tribal chief, this, that, and the other. He got to show the counter in the bag. And right now, it can't just be high energy. Like it just can't be that. It's got to be more than that. You know what I'm saying? Like, right? You know what I'm saying? He needs a Uafala. Like he don't got it right now. It's like he needs it. You know what I mean? Like you got Bronson Reed taking his Nikes, taking his Jordans. That's where he at right now. He don't got a superpower right now. Like he gonna need his J's back. Yeah. Like right now, the league roughed his J's. The league is Bronson Reed right now. I ain't gonna lie. Watch WWE, you know what I'm talking about. Yeah. The league is Bronson Reed right now. Like, and they got the J's on the neck. They got the J's on the neck. He needs to take back his J's. That's what he needs. He needs to take back his J's.
Well, you know, the way that he does that and the way that he will do that is the guys in front of him has to continue to
good night, George.
Play. But what I looked at and what I saw is not that he's playing bad, right? Here it is. It's not that he's not playing. He's playing decent football, good football. But he doesn't have those explosive plays, right? Those explosive tackles. The things that he is. I mean, he's averaging like 8-9 tackles a game.
We know what tackles. You know what tackles are, though, bro.
But he's a linebacker. He's supposed to.
Exactly.
Right? He's a linebacker, right? I mean, let's be honest. He's a linebacker. He's supposed to.
Exactly.
But when you judge a linebacker, you talk about the tackles, but you also talk about the breakup of plays, things of that nature. The problem is he's disappearing. We don't hear his name called, right? That's the thing. You don't hear his name called. Everybody wants their name to be called. And we don't hear Louisville's name. We know he's on the field, right? Yeah. We know he's on the field. I'm not saying he's Luke McCaffrey when he goes on offense because he don't get his name called. But again, he ain't
that bad.
He's not that bad, but he's going to get his name called, I think, this week. I think we see a different Louisville because of the not because it's the Oakland Raiders, but because I think this team has a sense of urgency about them right now.
Santiago, I want to say what Santiago says. It says people have given Lattimore a new name, Marshawn St. Jude. That's dirt. That's nasty work.
That is Santiago. Marshawn Lattimore deserves a lot of slander. Yeah, that's far too below the belt.
Oh,
for that.
No. Santiago, appreciate you though, bro. You my guy.
Thank you, Santiago. But no, don't be sticking that man's name on Marshawn Lattimore's head. He's been bad. I'll grant you that. And it doesn't look great right now for that particular transaction. Don't be comparing him to that guy.
I mean, that's just nasty. That's nasty work, man. Don't do that to him.
Like,
they both can work at Kroger or Aldi at the same time.
And Paul mentioned Jordan McGee. Here's what's bothering me. If Luvu and Wagner are struggling that much and McGee still can't get on the field, then what's wrong with him?
McGee's on the field. He's on the field. He was on the field. He gets on the field. He just does. He plays alongside them. That's like it's not his role. Right. He plays alongside. So like Bobby Wagner, like I'm not going. He's older, but he made a lot of plays. I feel like Bobby Wagner's role is for this team is to help finish run plays. And that too is help finish run plays. I mean, he's not the same Bobby Wagner who's to be able to cover anybody like out of as a middle linebacker. The dude used to cover tight ends like a beast back in the day. But he's not that dude anymore. Like, and I think, we gotta be responsible enough as fans to know, like, He's an aging vet, but he's still one of the better linebackers in the game, period. Like, I'm not going to take, but in terms of his coverage skills, he's not the same Bobby Wagner. Like, I'm not, and I wouldn't want him isolated on certain tight ends. I wouldn't. Like, if he's isolated against Brock Bauer, I'm going to be pissed. Like,
Bauer.
Exactly. Bauer's like, I'm going to be pissed. Again, like, you got to know as a coach, like, it's either two things. You don't put him on a football field and put somebody in his position who can do it, or you don't put him in a situation to fail. There's two things. And if you don't have the personnel to do it, you're gonna have to find. You gotta scheme up. You gotta scheme up something better to do it away.
You gotta protect them.
Yeah, exactly. You know what I'm saying?
Them.
That's the same thing I said about Connerly with about when he was on Micah. Like you gotta protect him. He's not capable of blocking somebody like that. Same thing with Bobby Wagner. He's not capable of at this point in time in his career. Like, we can't call Bobby Wagner of old. Of old when he was young. We can't do that. Like, I'm not gonna put him in that situation.
Right.
It's like we talked when we had Dion. Right? When we had Dion, he was old. I'm not gonna put Dion out there against like a supreme Randy Moss. That's ridiculous. Baltimore Ravens, Deion Sanders versus Randy Moss is ridiculous.
I don't want Bobby Wagner to be out there like Grandpa Simpson, because that's what it looked like last week.
Against the Giants, did we say that again when he played the Giants? No, like, so he could still play. He could still be effective. It's just, again, you don't put him in like the Packers found a way to isolate him.
Yeah, don't make him. Like you said, don't put him on Brock Bauer.
Yeah, they were smart enough to isolate him. They found a way to isolate him. Like, all right.
I think the team is also taking a lot of criticism right now, taking a lot of heat because of the performance.
Yeah, that's
granted. Week 1 was not. I mean, we won, but it wasn't. We didn't look like world beaters in week 1, right? And then week 2, you have that performance. So I think people are kind of looking at it like, I think we're being overcritical when it could legitimately be a bad game. And we started slow last year too. And I said this on the show the other night. What week did we come out and show out? Was week 3 last year against the Bengals, right? So this could be a repeat of that. They could go out this week like, all right, guys, we had 2 games, we got it together. Let's start it. Let's get it going. So this could be the week that they do that. But I just think, man, the sample size is so small, and we're expecting so much. Everything is getting looked at in a vacuum this week of how they perform.
But let's be honest. If they had lost to the Packers and it was a close game throughout, there wouldn't have been this kind of criticism.
Oh, of course not.
It's that they lost and looked like poo and were thoroughly outplayed. Right. And the coaches got their lunch money taken.
Game. And Jordan, they was playing with us though. They was playing. And
the Packers played with their food. The Packers should have blown us out of the water.
George has a comment. George has a question though. It says, do you think they should have switched to a zone defense? They play a lot of zone. They play a lot of zone. But they play man too on the carryover. But they just, what, they should
switch to whatever works. It doesn't even matter. I don't care. Just whatever works.
Whatever works.
Go ahead. Stop what we need to do it.
Go ahead, Glenn. I'm sorry. That's I want to read that comment.
Oh no. I was good. What I was gonna say was this. Back to D. Will. It did take week 3 is when they clicked up and the way they started to find themselves. Right, week 3, they started to find Wole, you said it earlier, their identity. They started to find out who they were about week 3. So I'm looking for this team to start finding their identity. It goes back to what Paul said and guy said earlier. You find your identity by running the football. So you run Bill more, you run a Chris Rodriguez more. You pound the Las Vegas Raiders, right? You pound a little bit, especially if you bring in Marcus Mariota in, which keeps the D line and everybody else off of him and gives him opportunity to throw the football, give him opportunity to run some play action, give him some opportunity to run because of what you've done. So that's one of the things I just want to point out. Week 3 may be the turning point for this team, good or bad. It's still a turning point. So hopefully,
Roy, I'm saying Roy, you're saying week 6 is when they turned it around. How did you feel like week 6 is when they got their swag?
Last season,
you saying week 6? Hey, to tell that was week 6 in. Yeah, Roy, finish that up for me real quick. Yeah. I would say, like, I'm with you. Like, week 3 is when we turned up. You know what I'm saying? We beat the Bengals, then we beat the Cardinals, right? After that.
Yes.
So we turned up after that. And
I'm looking at the schedule now. I'm trying to remember who was after that.
After those two teams? No, he said not
Would have been
preseason.
Cleveland,
Oh,
wasn't it?
okay.
He said okay. You saying plus 3? Okay, I got you.
Yeah,
boys.
yeah.
I got you.
I mean, that's the thing. They stomped a mud hole in Arizona too. That was the other thing. Is that they,
I just
they
feel
won
like
the Bengals
but I-
game. They
yeah.
not only didn't have a letdown, they went into Arizona and just cracked them.
I think
problem.
defense stepped up.
Yeah, and I'll say this much. There is a difference between how we started the season last year to this year. What I mean by that is that I felt like, and the Giants game was more similar to how we typically were. But if you even looking at that, we were rarely still punting the ball those 2 weeks. So our offense was totally different. So it's true. There is some difference. I get what everybody's saying. I feel like in terms of offense, we're a little bit, but we're definitely behind than we were compared to last year. Because we may not score touchdowns. That might have been the issue. Like we weren't great in the red zone at that time, but we were driving the football like consistently though. Yeah. I would say this week, like the last two, other than like the start against the Giants, we were kind of like similar, right? And then the second half, it was like, all right, we got a little stagnant. So, and then you carry that over to the Packers. We were stagnant throughout. Like we were getting like there was 3 and outs. So like we weren't looking like our normal defense.
Get punched in the mouth.
I'm a number offense, excuse me. So I would say in comparison to last year, like we were moving the ball. Like that wasn't a thing. Like we were moving up and down the field. This year, the first 2 weeks. Now that it's early. Don't get it twisted. Right. It's early. I'm just saying that if we're talking about comparing it from last year to this year, our offense was a little bit like in terms of time of when the time of possessions, going up and down the field. It may not generate and scores points, but we were moving the football better between the first two games compared to now. Now that's what I would say. That's all I would say. Earl said because of no preseason anymore, most teams will be who. Oh, this your dad?
Yeah.
Oh, he be supporting. I
What's
like,
up,
Earl?
Pops?
Earl be supporting when
Mr. Williams.
You know what? I was all right, Mr. Williams. You dope. You're dope because you be supporting. I ain't gonna hold you. You be supporting like a mug. We will be who they are around week 4. Agree with you. I thought now it makes sense. Your dad is like that. Earl is like that. Is like that. All right. Deluxe says what rooms did DQ say were the deepest rooms? What rooms sustained injuries? Time for that depth to show up. Yeah, safety.
It's true.
And what was it? Safety and what? Linebacker? Was safety?
Running back.
Sorry,
running back.
Safety and running back. Yeah. Oh, Santiago, do we miss Diami and OZ? Too early to tell.
I like OZ.
I like Diami too, obviously, but I like I think what's name has been good. Like
Debo's been good.
Debo's been good. It's no knock on Debo. Debo's been good.
But it's like Noah Brown is injured.
No
comment. Luke, you need to get in there and do something, buddy.
No comment.
No comment. I'm with you, DH. I'm with D-Will. I'm with you. Todd says the season is like a bald hairline. A bad hairline. It could be early, but you see signs. I see the signs they have to.
You could be talking about LeBron's hairline with that.
Or this season could be Stephen A. Smith, where it's bad, we know it's bad, and you just hang around.
Hey, you get a comb over like George Jefferson, man.
Right.
That is hilarious. But that was funny. D-Will, that was funny. I ain't gonna hold you. That's why you're a comedian. That's why I love your jokes, dog.
Thank you, man. I appreciate it, man.
I love your jokes, bro. But back to Preston Smith. So, like, what are your expectations of Preston Smith? What is your overall real expectations of him? Do you feel like he's gonna help be a game wrecker, or do you feel like he'll be just another guy?
I think he can come in. My expectation is to come be in a game record to maybe get 5 or 6 sacks.
Okay.
On Sunday, it's like no,
not on Sunday. But to be able to fit in with this defense, and to bring, because he's a high energy guy, right?
Mm-hmm.
He's a high energy guy, to bring that more high energy. And when you have high energy guys competing for who's the highest energy person, Bobby Wagner competing to be high energy, Louvu's competing to be high energy. You got the eyes of defense. Again, you'll see this defense start flying around because we can't let the new guy do this. All right, the new guy can't. And the new guy can't be. So again, that competition and competitiveness among the defensive line is going to bring the best out of everybody.
Go. What about you, D-Will? What about you, bro?
I think you might get somebody inspired. Like, we get guys in these situations that kind of been, giving the cold shoulder by the league, maybe, where it's still like he still got a lot of football in him and hadn't been signed. You might get a guy that might come in and really want to prove to the league and prove to the team that, hey, I still can do it. Because let me tell you what, it doesn't matter. Like the pitcher analogy we used earlier, like DNs, if you a elite DN or if you're a good DN, it don't matter how old you are, they're gonna pay you, right? So he could still be in line to get another big contract if he come out and have an amazing year, right? So I think you might get a motivated guy to come in and say, instead of just being a relief pitcher, I can start. Like, you know what I mean? So you might get a guy that really want to come out and really prove to himself and prove to the league that he can still do it. So I'm hoping that you get a guy that by default will make others around him better. Because I think we've seen glimpse already of Daron Payne kind of getting back to his old form. And I think if you get a guy that can consistently put pressure off the edge, you might get, other guys around him that can take full advantage of that. So I think we'll get a good guy coming in that'll fit in. And I think he'll at least take on the mentality of this defense.
I like that. George, what about you, bro?
I'm just expecting pressures. I'm not necessarily expecting sacks. I'm expecting pressures, and what I hope happens is Preston Smith's ability to bring pressure will lead to other people getting sacks and other people maybe making plays. That's what I'm expecting out of Preston Smith, because I think what you said is right, Glenn, about him being a high-energy guy. Preston Smith, when he gets on that field, I mean, there's a little bit of the Tasmanian devil with him, is that he's just going to go and go and go and go and go until you tell him to stop. So I kind of like the thought that he may not get a ton of sacks, but he's going to bring up the pressure rate of this line. And by doing that, maybe the other defensive ends, Von Miller, maybe some of the defensive tackles get sacks. Maybe a ball comes out when it shouldn't and it gets intercepted, whatever it is. That's my hope for Preston Smith.
So I'm looking at Preston Smith's, stats. Combined with the Steelers and Packers last year, he had 4.5 sacks. With the Packers in 2023, 8 sacks. 2022, 8.5, 9 sacks, 2021. So like if we can get half of that production, in terms of what he was in 2023, I'm fine with it. You know what I mean? Like he's coming in like later, he missed the first 2 games of the season. If he can get pressure, and I remember like Preston Smith when he was here before, when he was in Washington. Like he'd be a guy who give you occasional interceptions, be able to tip the ball in the air because he has long arms. So if he can create that type of chaos, I'm for it. Because George always talks about like this team creating turnovers. I think Preston Smith is a player that has the ability to help this team create turnovers. He has that ability. Just because again, like tipping the ball in the air, a guy who like when you drop him in zone coverage, he's a guy who's capable of catching the ball and getting an interception. He's capable of all that. So I just think that having a guy like Preston. For George's point, like we need guys who will have a knack to create turnovers. I think Preston has that ability. So I just think in terms of like sacks, it'd be great to have about like obviously like something close to that he's had in the past. Maybe 6 sacks or something like that would be really good.
Yeah,
6 sacks. But the most important thing, man, what do you do? Like, how do you help us create turnovers? I think that's the thing that I feel like Preston's going to bring to the table. And this team needs guys who have a knack to create turnovers or get turnovers. Because I've said that in the past. I didn't look at this defense as a defense that could be a dominant defense. Personally, I didn't see that. But I do think this is a defense that has the capability of creating turnovers and getting turnovers. And I think that's the next step for this defense in terms of what we want this defense to be, in terms of how it can help this team get to the place that we want this team to get to.
I think that's the key too, though. You guys mentioned it. We haven't had that many turnovers, right? So you want to be able to get a Preston Smith turnover. One thing that you said, Wole, that I totally agree with. When you play in that defensive end or that rush in, and he's tall and lanky, getting your hands up, right? Getting your hands up this week and cloud the pitcher and make the pitcher cloudy for the quarterback and let someone else be able to scoop him up. So I think that's going to be key. For Preston Smith, man, be able to 6 sacks and be able to have a lot of knockdown balls and be disruptive. Do
you think he plays? Do you think he plays against the Raiders?
Preston?
Yeah. Do you think he plays?
Yeah, I think so.
You think he's gonna play? Okay.
It may not be maybe not be a full a full set of plays, but I think
Mhm.
situationally you may
Like
Yeah.
10 or
activate him.
12 plays, maybe.
10
Yeah.
plus, 10 12 plays.
Todd says yes. So who do you think starts? Will it be Baptiste?
Yes, I think
Probably still by
Baptiste
default, yeah.
by default. Baptiste didn't have a bad game, nor did he have a great game, but he played well.
Okay. No, I'm just interested to see like how do they rotate those defensive ends? Like what's going to be the plan? You know, you just signed Preston and like he hasn't played,
Right.
he hasn't been in camp, he hasn't been in like whatever, and now like do you just pull up? Do you just have him go out there? Because it's not like he Micah Parsons. I'm gonna hold you.
I don't think they signed him with the intent of like shelving him. Like I think they signed him today or this week because
Right.
they have intentions of using him. We're not in the, and I don't think this regime is along this thought process either. But I don't think they feel as though we're in a luxury situation where we can just sit guys and wait. We need guys that can come in.
No, we need guys. Yeah, any guys contribute. We're not picking.
Oh, I totally agree with you. I totally agree with you.
Yeah.
I just not sure. Like realistically, if he can be impactful off the rip, that's dope. I don't know. Missing camp, but he's a vet, right? He's 32.
He's a vet.
Old,
he's a vet. Yeah,
vet. I guess it could work out for him. But yeah, because he's 32 years old, and I hate calling 32 like it's old. 32 is not old.
Football years, that's ancient. Bro.
I know it's killing me. I hate saying that because I feel like I'm insulting people. But you're right. It's crazy.
Your body feels like it too.
Yeah, I guess because you've been through war. I guess I can go with that. Joseph, I heard he was on the list of players they wanted to bring in. I mean, yeah, definitely. Again, he wasn't my first choice, but I'm not mad at it. Like I do think he fits what they want to do. Like he fits. I think Preston Smith is a good fit for Washington. Yeah. And Joe Witt's defense. I think it's a fit. It's a really good fit. Because he's like if you look at Dietrich Wise and who he's replacing Dietrich Wise, they're similar in body type. I know Preston's more physically, I think taller, lengthier. I think yeah. What he said was old. It was old. Yeah.
Was old. 32 was old.
It was old. I know, man. I don't know. 32 is a kid to me. I know, right, Timothy?
32 is old football, though.
I mean, like it's a kid to me. Like I wish I was 32. Shoot, you know how much recklessness I would be doing at 32. Man, get out of here.
No. Oh my God.
Do you know how, man? What? That would be a problem. That would be a serious problem. Shoot, I'm a serious problem sometimes at 44. Give me 32. What? What?
Hey, Paul got a question, man.
Question said, fellas, Jonathan Jones getting hurt and he didn't play at all during the preseason was a waste. Was that a waste of a roster spot? I mean,
I don't look.
Go ahead.
In previous years, you might be able to convince me with that. But man, the league is different, bro. They
really different.
Yeah, like the preseason is a glorified scrimmage. Like now, if he didn't participate in none of the in nothing, okay, cool. But I'm like, man, I don't think I subscribe to that anymore. I truly think that guys and the way the league is set up, it's a long season that I think you're able to miss the preseason. It's not like they're not practicing, like they're still practicing hard. You still, taking hits. And I think at a cornerback position, I mean, you're not taking a whole bunch of hits anyway. You know what I'm saying? Like most of this stuff is lower body, about the way that they move and around and stuff like that. So I don't think it's a big deal. I just think it happens. Like if there were way more injuries and it was more of a statistic that you can kind of tie to it, then I could say, but I don't think so.
Yeah, Taj, you're right, man. That is old too. That's right.
Yeah. Oh, you get about the cheer, Taj, and you feel like your knees pop.
Bruh, what?
Get out the
Bruh.
Well, you get to steer, dog.
What, Glenn? What?
Yeah.
I'm telling you. Hey. Roy, yeah, analytics. Definitely. It's lost on today's athletes. Totally agree. George says, wasn't Jones hurt when he was playing? He's hurt a lot when New England. It's tough. I mean, I felt like I liked the signing because I felt like for depth at cornerback, they need that's not a bad player if he's your fourth best corner. Like I thought that's a good position for a guy who used to be a starter to be like your fourth best corner. I think that was good. Like or fifth. I mean, yeah, man, fourth because he'd be over Noah. No. But yeah, I would go. I mean, I'm not mad at it. I don't think it was a waste of a roster spot because it's where he was in the depth chart.
Right.
I don't think there was anybody better like on our roster at that part in the depth chart. Like I don't think there was anybody better.
I think Donovan Edwards is not bad.
Yeah, like if you're talking about him being like a player that we're going to rely on, because we already knew we had Mikey, Amos, and Marshawn. I don't think after that. I mean, with Noah, like it didn't really hurt. I don't think it was a waste of a roster spot because when you talk about the fourth corner, like your fourth corner isn't a starter. Know what I mean? Like he's your fourth corner.
They play special teams and depth packages.
They're fourth corner for a reason. You know what I'm saying? So I don't think it's a waste. So it's tough, right? You want him on the field. You want to be hurt off the rip. You know what I'm saying? You don't want that. So
right.
Would you call him injury prone? Yeah, I would. I think I would. It's like I would call Noah Brown injury prone. I've said this for a while. Like Noah Brown is injury prone, and people thought I was being mean. I'm like we got Noah Brown. I was like, don't worry, he's going to get hurt at one point in the season. We're not going to really have him. Like, I said no. I said it. I wasn't hating on him. Obviously, it was like, yeah, when he gets an opportunity, like he's okay. He's solid. He's good. And I mean, he's okay. He's good at times.
Right.
Like, I mean, Thursday night, I thought he was dropping a lot of footballs. It is what it is. But, like, he gets hurt. Like, he'll give you some flash plays, but he'll get hurt. And that's his career. Like, it's not a knock. It's not that he's a bad player. He gets hurt. So, it is what it is.
Hey, Paul, old is when 80 degrees is too hot when you go outside. Yeah. That's me. That's the kind of old I am, is that if it's over 80 degrees, I'm like, this is terrible. I want back inside right away. Where's the damn air conditioning? That's the kind of old I am right now.
Roy said, before we about to end this show soon, but Roy said Noah Brown is a wasted roster spot. I agree. I kind of do.
I can't disagree with you, Roy.
I'm over Noah. Call up. I ain't gonna lie.
I'm with you there too. But see, this is the other thing. This is why Luke's got to do something, because there's opportunity. Yeah. Get out there and catch some footballs.
Y'all know Noah Brown ain't going away because he cut the Hail Berry last year. Leave him alone.
Yeah. hey, Glenn, take us home. Take us home.
Hey, yo, with that being said, ladies, just subscribe to our podcast on Spotify, iHeartRadio, Apple Podcasts, and all the podcast platforms. Just search All Burgundy Go Errrything. That's with 3 R's. Also tweet us at ABG_Errrything and hit us up on IG and TikTok as well. Make sure you join us here Sunday at 12 o'clock p.m. as we get ready for our pregame, as we talk about with Candy. Candy Waller from Bowie TV will be with us as well as we talk about the Washington Commanders as they get ready to take on the Las Vegas Raiders. All right, Las Vegas. I'm doing. You did that.
We were doing that the other night. We were doing it the other night. We went through all three: Oakland, Los Angeles, and Vegas.
And the Raiders. All right, make sure you've been listening to All Burgundy Go Errrything, powered by the Urban Sports Scene and Fox Sports Radio, 1340 AM. You dig? Deuces. We are out.
Afternoon kick tomorrow, 3:30 with Arabia from All NFL. Join in.
Yeah, that's what's up. I like that. That's what's up.
She's
dope, though.
Yes.